How you guys doing? Today was a day off. I spent time binge watching my sea stars today. That feminine energy, I guess. I just needed to be around. My sea stars, those who are aware and are putting information out, I'm drawn to. Sea stars that are drawn to alpha males, and as I look around, just ain't a lot of alpha males left. So I was binge watching Floorburn earlier in Orlando, and I love her channel. You know, listening to her, and then I made my way to Chrystal Clear channel, and for some godforsaken reason, on every other of my previous videos, I was calling her Crystal Waters. My bad. Chrystal Clear. And I'm listening to Chrystal Clear's latest video, and she's going in. Apparently, she had just not too long ago checked out RFG, one of RFG's videos, and I hadn't checked out the video she was talking about, but she's going in, and you can tell when the spirit takes over, because whatever energy was on RFG when he was presenting whatever it was he was presenting, that energy was in her, and as she was presenting it, the energy got inside of me, and I had to stop the video midstream. I had to take a break from Chrystal Clear midstream because I was feeling her frustration as she was presenting factual information. I was feeling her her frustration. You know, he was telling people to wake up and then dropping jewels, and why can't you see that, and dropping jewels, and why can't you see that, and dropping jewels, and dropping jewels, and dropping jewels, and then the spirit took over her, and she just went fifth dimension. If you don't know what that means, you're probably not watching this anyway, so I'm sure in the small company that I'm in, it's good company. I had to give it a break though. Now I'm gonna go back and watch the second half of that video after I get at it. I had to calm down. I could spend a whole lot of time talking about problems. Now I'm not talking about Chrystal Clear now. I'm changing gears. I'll get back to her in a little bit. I'm changing gears. I wish I had a penny for every hour I've spent over the last, this is 2020, do the math from 1992 to now. I don't feel like it. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I wish I had a penny for every conspiracy that I've studied in that timeline. Every conspiracy. I want to talk about Billy Myers as well, too. I want to make sure I mention that. Maybe it'll be a mental footnote to get back to that. I have a why disease. I've said this before. And so I just dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. I'm like that dog in your backyard that you own, and he's always digging holes. And we just want the grass to remain green and be pretty. And you got this one dog out there just digging holes for no goddamn reason. No goddamn reason. I don't feel like I can change anybody's mind. Bobby Hemmett said it's too late to wake people up. And so I dig and I dig and I dig. And for me, it started before the internet. Because I remember about when the internet came about. It was 90s. It was like 90. I was at South Carolina State at the time. And while I was there, they transitioned from South Carolina State to the South Carolina State University. And right about my sophomore or junior year, we've always had computers, but we had just internet thing. Let me go a little levity real quick. I need levity because I need to calm down. After watching Crystal Clear, I need to calm down because she had me amped too, and I understand and have studied everything that she was talking about, but her energy was so strong. It was just like revitalizing all of the dormant stuff that has been laid in my brain over the last 20, 30 years. Back to a little levity. So we got the internet up, and the internet is a new thing. And there was this kid with braids and another dude named Beats. Beats was from New York. He was in South Carolina hiding out because some people were after him, and me and him was real good friends, and he wound up getting murdered anyway. R.I.P. But this kid was this nerdy kid with dreads. He brought me to this little small house with Beats, whatever. Beats put me on, and was like, he had that weird white boy talk shit. No offense, but I mean, like flipping his hair around and talking. Oh, and the internet, it looks like he's showing me the internet. First time I'm seeing it. He pulls up a pornographic picture on the computer, and it goes line by line. It took 15 minutes to show one photo line by line. And I wasn't excited at all. I was like, I gotta wait 15 minutes to see one naked picture? Fuck out of here. I get a magazine. I didn't get it. He was trying to drop jewels on me. I didn't get it. What he was saying was, hey, no, what you need to do is you need to purchase a domain name because they're for sale right now. And you can purchase a domain and name it whatever you want. But I suggest that you buy, NBA or NFL or, he started naming all these Crest, or he started naming these companies. He said, because you could buy the domain name for $100 and just hold it until these companies become aware that they can use the internet to sell their products, and they're going to want to purchase the domain name that contains their name. He said, so just buy a bunch of them. And it was like trying to explain geometry to a pit bull. It just didn't make sense to me. It was like a domain name. What is a domain name? And as simple as he was trying to talk, he was very technical in his explanations. And I just didn't get it. It's like trying to explain a car to somebody that's never seen a car. But he was right. Oh my gosh, he was right. We missed out on that. But he didn't miss out on that. I don't know whatever happened to that kid, but I'm sure he made a lot of money. So back to the library and the levity. Somebody thought it was a cool idea who knew about computers to change the screensaver on all the library computers, and nobody knew anything about computers, so they put a bunch of Disney characters in sexual positions. Naked Bugs Bunny having sex with, female Bugs Bunny, and all this stuff that had to stay on the library computers for like a week because nobody knew how to change the screensaver. That's how, if you can imagine the time like that. Some funny ass shit. So, levity. That's that. Now, my first introduction to conspiracy theories was through a series of books. One was the Committee of 300, which I read early 90s. Another one was the ISIS Papers, which I've talked about before. And another one was, Committee 300, the ISIS Papers, Behold the Pale Horse. And every time I learned something, I realized that I had 3 more questions. And so I realized how much I didn't know. And I just kept digging. Some years passed, and then we get the internet popping, and we start getting, Google and things that you can download and things that you can research. And I wish I had a penny for every hour I spent researching things, true or not, just sifting through information, sifting through information. And then I developed the remembrance of the language of vibration, which made studying on the internet or reading books or talking to people, it changed how I received information. Because when you realize that The spoken word is secondary. You know, the primary communication is vibration, where you can see and feel truth in all that's communicated. If you don't understand what I just said, it's just not for you. Because only 10 of y'all are gonna see this anyway, and that's okay. The language of vibration just made it very easy, or assisted greatly in navigating this plane of existence, having the remembrance of that language. Just because somebody says something with bass in their voice don't mean that it's true. It just doesn't, you know. But you can go under the tones and the vibrations, and not the vibrations that's coming from my voice. It's just, I don't know that English has a word to describe it, or maybe I'm just not, descriptive enough to make it clear for you. You either get it or you don't. It's those butterflies you get when your spider senses go off. You know, it's a constant flow. The heart beats, and all of this magnetic energy pulsates with each beat of your heart, and you're in communication with all the hearts in your area, all the hearts on the planet, for that matter. And they're all communicating at all times. That's another video. I'm not going to go left field that far. I'm getting notifications. Excuse the light. There's nothing demonic, I promise you. I promise you. I got deep into the conspiracy and deep into the problems and then I saw a movie. I want to say the movie came out in 97. You can fact check me on that. Conspiracy theory. And introduced to the concept of MK Ultra. And then I went left field and studied that. Years later, in the present now, as I look, I see MK Ultra everywhere. Back to Chrystal Clear. Not crystal water. Sea Star, I love you. You say something sideways about Chrystal Clear, you got an alpha male on your ass. We love that sister. Floor burn, we love that sister. Okay? Watch your neck. Protect your neck. Protect your neck when you speak our sisters, our sea stars' names. Sea stars, not sisters. Our sea stars' names. Respect it. Chrystal Clear is going in. She's going in. And she's amped. And I'm amped. And I'm thinking about the movie Conspiracy Theory. And I'm introduced to the MK Ultra. And I'm studying that. And I see it all around me. And Chrystal Clear is talking about, the toilet paper gate, chicken sandwich gate. I don't even want to say the name of the company. I don't care. I don't get enough views to have my video pulled out. Popeye's chicken sandwich. I was laughing at you guys. I just was. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I'm gonna get back to the chicken sandwiches. I want to get back to Chrystal Clear. And I know I'm all over the place. I don't care. This is one of those videos. We're just all over the place right now. Okay? Chrystal could not comprehend why you guys won't wake the fuck up. And I understand that sentiment. I do. Let me describe it if I was talking to Chrystal Clear, what I would tell her is, you remember the scene in the Matrix where Neo is woken up and he wakes up in that tube and he pulls all the tubes out of his arms and he sits up and it's hard for his eyes to see and he looks left and he looks right and he looks up and he looks down and he sees all of these other, sealed caskets, electronical caskets with people inside believing they're up but they're not, they're asleep. That's Chrystal Clear. You woke up, Chrystal. You look left, you look right, and you see all the other people sleep. They not waking up. And nothing you saying is going to wake people up. I'm not saying you're wasting your time. And this is I would never criticize my sea stars. Never. What I'm telling you is, don't be surprised. I wouldn't even put that much energy into being upset that they're asleep. They're asleep. It is. You and I both, Chrystal, Floorburn, and all the rest of us who are who are able to snap out of it for whatever reason. Maybe, maybe I got to thank my dad. He wasn't big on taking us to doctors and stuff like that. He just wasn't. Maybe it was in the spirit. Who knows? I never asked him. So we didn't get all of the shots and vaccines we could have gotten, probably should have got, which maybe allowed us to be to the point where we can have conversations like this and not be walking sheeple like the rest of the sheeple. I watched you guys get those chicken sandwiches, and I watched this funny ass dude, brother, with a baby piano doing this whole comedy skit about the damn chicken sandwich. Maybe some of y'all saw it. And I was, in my mind, I was like, I'm studying all of this deep shit and trying to share it to somebody like this nigga who is making a video playing a baby piano about how good this chicken sandwich is. No, there's no chance of that dude waking up. Bobby Hemmett says everybody's got their own alarm clock and it goes off at different times. To respect that. But he also says that the time for waking people up is over. And I'm listening to Chrystal Clear, my C-star, talk about Agenda 21, talking about the World Health Organization, talking about the FDA and the CDC and, chemtrails and, change weather modification and vaccines and MK Ultra and just doing her best to shake you motherfuckers loose and wake you up. Y'all done. Not the 11 people who are going to see this video. 11 people. It's like I'm preaching to the choir, and I'm not making this video to teach anybody anything or to wake them up. I'm making this video to calm myself, I think, because I was listening to Chrystal and I was right with her. I was just amped like she was. I was just amped. I was pacing. I refuse to go out with this kind of energy. I'm just not. Yeah, I'm not. I'm going to listen to something. I'm going to listen to the rest of Chrystal Clear first. Then I'm going to listen to something soothing. I'm going to take my ass to sleep and go to work to make this money from an account that exists that's in my name under the Federal Reserve Department. But that's another video. I told you about where the money comes from for your check when you clock in for a 40-hour week, that you're actually working for a small percentage of money that's coming from your own accounts that were established when you were born, and your birth certificate being a bank document. You tear your hair out. That is another video. The MK Ultra is everywhere. Chrystal Clear is right. We all know it. You know it. The television, the music, the deep state. I could spend hours and hours and hours and hours and provide paperwork after paperwork after paperwork after paperwork, providing you with receipts, trying to shake you loose from your metallic cocoon with your tentacles in various parts of your arm, your spine, and your legs like the Matrix. But you're not going to shake loose until you shake loose. And we are right in the thick of it. We are right in the thick of it. I'm not going to spend 10 hours recording a video with all of these, bullet points and all of these, all of these charts and showing you all these documents and, doing video clips of where I'm getting the stuff from. There's too many people doing stuff like that. They don't need anybody else doing stuff like that, and you have a choice. And what I'm looking at as I walk the streets, navigate these streets, I see people who have consented. Your mask is a flag. You have consented. And I shot a video about that. So I'm just going to mention that and move on. Not everybody who's wearing a mask has consented. If you got to wear a mask to go into Walmart to buy food, I got you. If you got to go to wear a mask to get on a bus because they won't allow you on the bus, I got that. If you have to go to a job to work for your own monopoly money that's yours anyway that you don't know about, but you can go on the Federal Reserve website and track the accounts that are in your name that you don't know exist, that's used from the number on the back of your Social Security card, you better check out Harvey Dent if any of those videos are still up. We'll check that out. Can you do that? It's done. I'm not going to go into the conspiracies. There's enough people doing that. I think I want to focus my energy when I'm not venting like I'm doing now to just be solution oriented. Okay. The recommended daily allowance or intake for vitamin C is 60 milligrams a day. That's what is reported on the FDA. Okay. You got people out there taking thousands of milligrams of vitamin C, following some of these doctors that have been put on YouTube and stuff like that to convince you. It's all wrestling. They just pick they just picked a character that you would gravitate toward. It's all wrestling. You better check into those 12 essential salts, okay? Because that's out there. You better check into potassium, because that's out. Very few people are talking about it. It's out there. And all of the stuff that I found on potassium, the 3 types of potassium chloride, potassium sulfur, it's 3 of them. It's, those are essential salts. Okay. The body's electrical requires, the correct elements so that it can combust. All right. So I got, a doctor said today that if you put, 100 healthy people on ventilators, 17% of them will die. Healthy people on ventilators, 17% of them would die. Ventilators is not the answer to anything. Okay, because if the purpose of the ventilator is try to get more oxygen into your system. The problem is not that you can't get oxygen into your system. You can breathe in fine. That's not the problem. The problem is you can't get oxygen into the tissues, into the organs so that they continue to function. You have no combustion. You don't have any combustion because you're low on essential nutrients and micronutrients. Zinc is a micronutrient. You don't need a whole lot of that to get it popping. But if you're low on zinc, you're in trouble. Magnesium, you need it, and it's best to get it from foods, but there are organic. There are organic ways to get it as well, organic supplements to get it as well. But it's best what you do is you do what I did, in this book. What I did was I wrote down the fruits that I like. And I wrote down where's my glasses? Let me put on my old man glasses real quick. I made like a chart. It's like a chart. You can screenshot that if you could see it. I made a chart. Which foods has potassium and how much. Which foods has magnesium, iron, vitamin C, fiber. And I listed it out. And then I circled all the ones that were high. And then I which one had beta carotene, how many calories they are, which one had calcium, which one has selenium, which one has zinc, which one has copper, which one has, I just listed it all out. I had somebody make a comment, oh, you think you're a doctor? No, I don't think I'm a doctor, but I'm smart enough to be my own doctor. You better believe that. In an age where you all have fallen for COVID, I'm smart enough to be my own doctor. I worked in an office years ago, and there was 4 of us. And one person consistently got the flu shot every year. And every year she got the flu. And none of us ever got it. None of us ever got it. So we weren't taking that flu shot. We weren't taking that flu shot. The time for trying to get people to check into, I don't even like the word conspiracy theories because they're conspiracy facts. Okay? They put it in your face. It's in your face. These are not theories, these are facts. The amount of hours that have been studied over the last 26 years to have a comprehensive understanding of the things that are going on. I'm not saying we're smart. We're not. We just took the time to study stuff. And every time I learned something new, I had 3 more questions and I realized how much I don't know. So I don't know a whole lot. I've done a lot of studying. I got a lot of information. I've acquired a lot of wisdom through navigating through life, making good choices and making mistakes. That's how you get wisdom. But with wisdom comes humility. And you realize that with all that you've learned, there's still so much left to learn. And it makes me feel empathy for people who are not aware. It just does. And I don't care what race you are. It just makes me feel empathy towards you. And what I'm noticing is I'll do my best to drop a seed in the conversation to see if I could lead into a conversation where I could speak on the level that they're speaking to me on and give them some information. And the receptors are off. That's the MK Ultra. The receptors are off. 2 old people, elderly couple, white, with the mask on, breathing in their own carbon dioxide. And I've talked about this before, but I'll mention it again because you might. I don't want you to have to go through a whole bunch of stuff to see something that would only take me, 30, 40 seconds to repeat. If you hyperventilate, they give you a paper bag. You have created a state of over alkalinity in your breathing patterns, and they use the paper bag to use the carbon that you bring out to lower your alkalinity back to a normal range so you can stop freaking the fuck out. And then once it's lowered, then you stop breathing out of the daggone bag. Because if you keep breathing in your own carbon dioxide, after you've lowered it back to the normal range, now you make it acidic. And that's when a different set of problems start. So even though the mass is not as confining as breathing a paper bag, you are recycling a percentage of the carbon that you're breathing out back into your breathing in space by walking around in a mask all day. When you can't get somebody or couple or whoever who have been on the planet longer than you to understand something that simple, they can't handle the other stuff. They're not going to be able to handle chemtrails. You're talking about that's just clouds. No, it's not. Oh, what are you talking about? That's just exhaust from the planes. No, it is not. There's no metallics and aluminum and barium and stuff being dropped out of the air and nanoparticles. None of that. What are you talking about? If you can't get somebody to understand something as simple as breathing carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide, I said by accident, but my spirit is leading me to say, wow, that's cool. It's leading me to say they would understand sitting in the garage with the garage door closed with your car running, that they would understand. And that's essentially what you're doing by walking around with a mask on your face. Now, sure, it's not as bad as breathing in the carbon monoxide from your engine, but it's the same principle. Okay. You're breathing in the waste that your body is getting rid of, that is supposed to be utilized by the trees so that it can provide oxygen back to you. And spending time on the conspiracy theories at this point is just, It's just pointless. You've all had cell phones in your hands where you can access information instantly, 24 hours a day. And while sitting in my car earlier, I could hear, a young sister who who's on her phone, listening to some ratchet black woman just ramble and raise Cain about nothing. That's how she's spending her lunch break. My gosh. I want to go into the sisters, but I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to pause this and go on the sisters. Now, I love my sea stars, but I got to get y'all right. And I got to start from your feet and work your way up to the head. And we're going to get that. I'm not waiting I'm going to do that now. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Good night.